So moving on to the next thing, just kind of as I just briefly talked to you about needing to switch the mindset to make sure that you're financially stable and needing to be concerned about that. It's interesting to me to find out that a lot of these celebrities are concerned about financial stability as well. And I was interested to note that they have a lot of financial insecurity, especially in entertainment, right? So recently I saw a really good interview on the pivot for Dwayne the Rock Johnson. So that was it was a really good interview. Yeah, you guys should go and check that out. Watch it in its entirety. I'm gonna just play a clip of the portion that kind of stood out to me with this reoccurring theme I'm seeing when it comes to celebrities, especially black celebrities, having financial insecurity or using financial insecurity and the anxiety of that to drive them forward. So there's that piece that I'm going to tease out, but watch the whole thing. I think the whole thing is actually pretty good. They do a good job of allowing for a little bit of vulnerability, but also some playfulness and also some grown man stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, check that out. But anyway, I want to play this part of it in particular about this issue.
When you look at how your career started, all of the things that you had to go through and learn to get here, could you ever have imagined being where you are today?
No.
Isn't one of your motivational sayings that was like something like, hey, we're getting evicted around the corner or something like that?
Eviction is around the corner.
Eviction is around the corner. And is that one of the ways, how does that continue to keep in the forefront of your mind? Like as you continue to accomplish certain things, it's also important to remember what it could be like and what it was like.
Brother, all the time. So there's the gratitude, then there's grit, and then I think, well, what's the alternative? So, and the alternative is $7. The alternative is struggle. The alternative is not having options, not having a choice. So I think about that all the time. And it continues to drive me. And by the way, when I say that, I'll say that in our meetings, in the variety of the businesses, I'll say eviction's around the corner. And I used to tell myself this all the time, excuse me for cussing, but I cannot be broke. Like that to me was, and I think because I was struggled a lot growing up and I saw how hard my dad was working his ass off. It was never, oh, I want to make millions. It was, I need more than $7. And then for people who really know me, who are comfortable, go, hey, listen, we love you.
Chill out.
But it ain't around the corner. I know, but we need to say it.
Yeah, man. So I think, like I said, it was a great interview. And it's also interesting for somebody like, first of all, we're not talking about a regular celebrity. Listen, I mean, even saying celebrity, that takes you out of like regular, so to speak, category, but we're not talking about a regular amongst celebrities, right? We're talking about like A-list, right? Dwayne The Rock Johnson is A-list, right? He's multifaceted. He can do things in a number of different fields, right? And like, you know, film, he can host things. I think they were talking about him hosting like Saturday Night Live or whatever. He can. That's not the only thing he's hosted before. I think he did some co-hosting with Kevin Hart on some stuff. You know, with his like I said, his film, his wrestling history background. He's an entertainer and he's a businessman. And he's box office, right? And so listening to him was somebody who I know got the money. I know. When I say I know, I haven't seen it, but I know he got the money. Okay. And to listen to him talking about, hey man, eviction's around the corner, man. We could be thrown out any day, man. What time is it? I don't know. The paperwork might be put on the front porch soon. Like, you know, for him to be talking like that, it gives insight into what drives some of these folks who are in this industry of entertainment that's such a unforgiving, uncertain landscape, right? But you know, even talking about this in the term of entertainment and, you know, celebrities in this particular industry, you can extrapolate that and apply that to a lot of different other industries. You can apply that to so many different things because there are a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of times in the 9-to-5 life, there is more certainty than in something like this industry, but a lot of times certainty in those in 9-to-5 industries, or you know, just what I would say 9-to-5 work, not, you know, in multiple different industries, it's kind of a facade to believe that everything is smooth sailing. You know, that with COVID, how quickly that interrupted everything, right? where people were losing their jobs left and right, and certain whole industries were kind of shut down and stuff like that. So you never really, I don't think you should look at any type of industry and take it for granted, or any type of position, whether you're an entrepreneur or employed, taking it for granted. You should probably always be working towards something. Now, if you take a look at that and say, is it always a good idea to be thinking about things this intensely? Thinking about things in a sense of scarcity and always feeling financially insecure? Probably not. But probably if you were to look at it on the spectrum and scale, I'd probably say you might want to be a little bit over the 50% than you would be under it, right? In terms of really always being like, okay, what's the next move? What am I working towards? What am I putting aside? What am I building up? In case this doesn't work, what else is going to happen? Like giving yourself some cushion, especially if you do have people that are relying on you, right? So I just think it's really interesting to see from these different people's perspective, folks who are doing pretty well, and how they view things, in a sense that continues to drive them towards doing more. I'm always wondering about that. Like, when you see CEOs and things of some of these the largest of the Fortune 500 companies, and people making over $100 million or plus dollars a year or something like that. And sometimes I say, why the hell are they still working? At this point, your money will make itself. If you invest, if you invest just a few, you could invest to a point where you could, after working, getting that type of money for a few years, you could invest to a point where the interest, you would just make interest, and make your salary every year if you invested it in a certain way. So I'm like, so that kind of leads to more of the thought process of there's a drive there that's beyond the money itself. The money may be a factor, but there's probably experience there, and there's probably either some sort of memory, or either a passion and purpose, or some sort of memory that drives you towards never returning someplace you've already been. So it's always interesting to try to figure out what's going on with people and how they maintain the levels that they are at, and how they continue to move forward almost as if they're not where they are, almost as if they have not made it, so to speak, right?
I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. Putting on for my city like OAG.